The atmosphere on the set was amazing. I didn't actually work with any stuntmen while filming, but we always wanted to. We just never had the right opportunity. On the morning of March 12, 2025, major news outlets across the country broke a shocking story. Mike Wolfe, the well-known host of the reality TV show American Pickers, had been sentenced to life in prison. The charges against him sounded like something out of a Hollywood thriller: international artifact smuggling, hiding evidence related to a historian's mysterious death, and manipulating the antique auction market worth millions of dollars. To millions of fans, Mike had always seemed like a passionate history lover traveling across America to rediscover forgotten treasures. But during a 46-day trial, a completely different picture emerged, one of a man secretly connected to underground antiquities trafficking networks spanning the Middle East and Europe. The story began on June 17, 2023, when police in Bloomington, Indiana, responded to a call from a neighbor about a strange smell coming from the basement of Professor Harold Clemens's home. Clemens, a retired historian from the University of Chicago, was known for his expertise in Civil War artifacts. When police entered the house, they found him dead, lying on his back, holding a silver pocket watch engraved with the words RK 1887, for honor, not glory. At first, it seemed like a natural death. But that watch turned out to be a clue that unraveled everything. A week later, the Savannah National Museum circulated an internal memo, later leaked, stating that the same pocket watch had once been part of the Battlefield Heritage Collection, which had mysteriously disappeared in 2019. The theft had never been made public. When this news broke online, people began connecting dots. The biggest spark came from a Reddit post by a user named GearGhost82, who claimed he had seen that exact same watch in an unaired episode of American Pickers filmed in Kentucky. Within hours, dozens of fans said they remembered seeing the same piece either on TV or in clips that were later removed from YouTube. Soon, the FBI opened a quiet investigation under the name Rust Rail, working with international agencies to trace illegal antique trafficking. A leaked 14-minute video showed Mike Wolfe buying a set of military pocket watches from an unidentified man in a Kentucky warehouse. His voice could be heard saying, "I know this piece went through an officer's hands. It has historical value. I won't ask where you got it." This raised red flags immediately. Investigators later found connections between Mike Wolfe and Professor Clemens. In 2017, Clemens had publicly said, "Some artifacts should never be for sale. They carry pain no money can buy." Emails recovered from Clemens's computer revealed he suspected a famous television figure was involved in illegal antique trading, and he was considering alerting the FBI. That message was sent 3 days before his death. Though no one was charged, the autopsy showed a small bruise on the back of Clemens's head. From that moment, the investigation turned serious. The FBI began reviewing every American Pickers episode and production record. They found that from 2020 to 2023, more than 40 items bought by the show's team had disappeared. They were never aired or officially accounted for. Surveillance of one of Mike's assistants led agents to a hidden warehouse in Missouri filled with stolen museum pieces. Later, 2 private storage units registered under a company called Time Vault Logistics LLC, secretly owned by Mike, revealed an enormous collection of undocumented antiques. Among them was an Egyptian statue stolen from the Luxor Museum in 2011. The financial investigation revealed a complex web of shell companies and tax havens and untraceable transfers totaling nearly $4.7 million. One payment of $150,000 came from a man tied to illegal artifact sales in war-torn Syria. The FBI learned that Mike often used encrypted apps in cash or crypto payments, avoiding any official paper trail. In December 2023, during a secret meeting with an undercover agent in New Mexico, Mike was recorded saying, "Not every item should be on TV. Some things are meant for those who truly understand their value." When the FBI raided 3 locations, including a hidden warehouse in Nashville, they found List 17, a coded notebook containing details of black market transactions. Mike's personal journal also contained the note, "They will never understand. This is about heritage, not money." But the law saw it differently. The evidence, stolen artifacts, secret accounts, and coded notes, was overwhelming. The trial began on January 9, 2025, in Chicago under heavy security. Fans gathered outside with signs reading "Free Mike." Inside, the 39-page indictment listed 6 major charges: illegal transportation of antiquities, international trafficking, tax evasion, money laundering, obstruction of justice, and hiding evidence in a suspicious death. Video clips showed Mike exchanging money with a Syrian man in a Detroit garage for Roman coins. The prosecutor argued that American pickers had become a front for illegal trade. The biggest shock came when Frank Fritz, Mike's former partner on the show, testified against him. Frank said, "We promised to only collect legal items." But everything changed. Mike became obsessed with finding what no one else could. He told me, "To keep the show alive, we have to dig deeper, literally and figuratively." Frank recounted how Mike once took a wartime diary they found in Arkansas, and later he saw it for sale on the black market. The defense argued Mike wasn't the mastermind but a collector misled by others. They said his offshore accounts were legitimate and the transactions were handled by third parties. But Mike remained silent throughout most of the trial. On the 31st day, he finally said, "I never saw myself as a criminal. I just wanted to save what others had thrown away. If that makes me guilty, I accept it." On sentencing day, the judge spent only 4 minutes delivering the verdict. Mike Wolfe was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. All ownership of American pickers and antique archaeology was revoked. Fans wept in the courtroom. On social media, pages that once celebrated him turned into memorial accounts or shut down completely. Within days, the History Channel canceled American Pickers and wiped all its episodes from streaming platforms. The FBI seized both of Mike's stores in Iowa and Tennessee. Inside the Nashville warehouse, investigators found dozens of items proven to be stolen from museums in war zones, including a marble carving from an Ottoman royal tomb. Auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's froze their antique deals and began internal reviews. Public opinion split. Some believed Mike was guilty, others thought he was a scapegoat for deeper corruption in the art world. Conspiracy theories emerged after people discovered the mysterious code Q7R3VTI in his list. Some speculated it referred to a secret organization linked to powerful institutions, though nothing was proven. In prison, Mike refused interviews. He kept to himself, rarely speaking. A former associate said, "It's like he's already made peace with it." The FBI confirmed in March 2025 that others connected to the case were still under investigation, including a former History Channel executive who oversaw unaired episodes. To understand how it all began, one must look back to Mike's childhood. Born in 1964 in Joliet, Illinois, he grew up poor with his single mother and siblings. He loved collecting things others threw away: old bikes, radios, broken toys. His favorite saying was, "If it's worthless to everyone else, it's worth keeping." When American Pickers premiered in 2010, Mike became a national star. He and Frank Fritz traveled the country finding forgotten treasures, earning viewers respect for their genuine love of history. But as fame grew, so did pressure. Each episode had to feature something rarer, more dramatic. To outdo himself, Mike began searching in riskier places: private vaults, black markets, even war zones. Maybe in his mind, he believed he was rescuing history. But passion can easily blur into obsession. Now, as inmate #42719D54, the man who once represented American heritage lives behind bars. His name and brand have been erased from television, but the question remains, was he a criminal exploiting history for money, or a man punished for trying to preserve it in his own way? Whatever the truth, his story shows how easily love for the past can turn into a tragedy, and that no secret stays buried forever.